Note by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Note: this book is one poem. I have, as the mood dictated, filled a form or created one. I have used assonance for the charm of it, and not rhymed where there was no need to. In all, I have followed my ear and my heart, which may be false. I hope not. My thanks are due to the editors of the English Review and the New Age for permission to reprint some of these verses. F.S.F. End of note. This recording is in the public domain. Preoccupations as I Pace the Streets by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. As I paced the streets. As I paced the streets there came to me, although the air with smoke was dim, and bleak black walls were frowning grim, the vision of a sunlit sea. A crumbling cliff all hacked and torn, a waste of sand dunes gray and wide, and wheeling gulls that dipped and cried, and scarlet poppies in the corn. The traffic's jangle and its roar and human clamor could not quell the low sad murmur and the spell of languid waves that laced the shore. The yellow sun that sickly shone on a wan sere tree amidst a square recalled a wealth of golden hair that flowed the long green grass upon. Oh, and my heart is far away from the heavy care and the daily task, and once again in the sun I bask, naked and careless, a holiday. Ships in the offing slowly drift in the hazy heat of a summer dream, and little we heed where wind or stream, on what world errands slow or swift, may drive them, so that in our eyes, half closed with the glare of sun and sleep, their steady march may sometimes keep a delicious tremor. How time flies! As I pace the streets there come to me, in an awful wave that stops my breath, the clutching, gripping thought of death, and the bitter taste of an unknown sea. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Futility by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Futility. I hold the universe in my brain, and I walk along the streets and laugh that life is mixed with all the chaff, so small a measure, God, of grain. And death is but a parfilage of precious threads of silver and gold, that with the stuff of Tellus old are woven sparse from age to age. Annihilation's gorgon stare will freeze the genial earth at last, with all her gibbous face ice fast, her genius vanished, God knows where. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Sunday in London by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Sunday in London. My heart is bitter with this barren desolation. Dead trees, grey skies, gaunt streets, smoke, grime, and squalor of London. And hark! A twittering. God! A smudgy little sparrow, gay in a wild savannah of things ill done and undone. Is there a hope to find, a way to lead us heartsore from the mephitic hell of dullness and stagnation? None, save a glimmering dawn, a lily among cacti, scrub and dense, poisonous growth of world-wide desolation. A lily of dawn, of hope, and fragrant with a message, kindling the age-worn spirit of man to new creation. A new song ripening in the sadness as I hearken to a smudgy sparrow, twittering amid the desolation. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Nietzschean by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Nietzschean. Will they remember when they meet again? These whirling motes that form my haggard brain? The rending ache, sad joys, the hopes and fears, and jarring work and war of hither years? When in the coil of changes once more met, will they remember, or will they forget, the hunger, then the misery and strife, that marked and made their own this gloomy life? The dull, slow round of all things mean and bad, that leave me doubting whether sane or mad I be, indeed, or anything at all, but a wild nightmare in the rise and fall of fancy in some spirit's thought-racked brain. Will they remember when they meet again all this and all the filth and all the grime whereof they, in this phantom former time, took cognizance and shuddered? Oh, will they? They must remember, though both bright and gay their path may be for many million years, through sunlit warmth. Steeled with a stern remembrance will they go, richer with pain of earthly life, and so, in a dim future age, will meet once more, stronger that each with each had lived and ached before. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Palinode by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Palinode. I have grown tired of the old measures wherein I beat my song, and, as the sounds on the hilltop where the winds and seabirds throng, and the broad and mournful monody of the ever-singing sea, in the heart-harped rhythms my song henceforth must well from the soul of me. For I have lived in a city far from the seabirds keen, and have herded with the sordid, the low-browed, and the mean. And I have ached with the dreariness of all its poverty, and longed for the great and broad-browed song of the ever-singing sea. And once I met a woman there, who came in love's disguise. I sang the old measures to her, enchanted with her lies. Oh, let me break from the memory of all it meant to me, and beat my verse to the broad-browed song of the ever-singing sea. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Heart's Hunger by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. The Heart's Hunger. I have the heart of the sea within me, the strange wild heart of the sea, the restless longing, the song and sob and wash of the wave. And I desire and desire not the silence and calm of the grave, to quench and still the passion and storm of soul in me. O stars that twire above me in mysterious deeps of space, the heart of the sea within me is an unhungered for your light. And the howl of my waves breaks sullen in the impotent vast of night, and abashed their foam-flecked tops veil before its frigid face. And my waves have moaned for your knowledge since ever our life began, and the knowledge that is beyond you, I have wept that it were mine. The tears of my numberless weepings have fallen, and lo, the brine will wash my heart till it faints and fails, for I have the heart of man. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Flower Song by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Flower Song. I sing my pain. Like a little flower beneath the rain, I cower, I cower. My eyes have filled too often with tears for me to wield the heavy years. Drenched to the root, I shiver and wait the withering foot of wandering fate. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Monody by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Monody. Along the road the wind is blowing red rose petals, and they wed the brown-gray sand. In my hand I hold the roses, and, alas, their root was buried in the heart of all my hope. My blood had colored them. I shaped them when, past many a horoscope, starred on the roof of space, the ship of earth was ferried across the pool of night. Now on the windy hill I stand, red roses in my hand, and the root withered in my heart. Along the road the wind is blowing red rose petals, and they wed the brown-gray sand, the roses of my hope and heart dispart. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Unreality by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Unreality. I was thinking this evening, surrounded by my books, in my dull, drab room, in a drab, noisy street, that the woods are still there were the intimate nooks, and the bloom on the bramble and wild rose is sweet. Epping and Hainsault, St. Cloud on the hill, and all their green silence, unreal though it seem, are there in the darkness, indefinite, still. But to me in my drab room they seem but a dream. Do you not feel the stillness of the feet unhaunted glade, and see the bats a-flitting in the glimmer of the moon, and underneath the holly in the wilderness unfrayed of bracken and a bramble know the black earth's cryptic rune? And there where rush and sallow grow and hide a brackish stream, the frogs hear weirdly croaking and the light wind sighing low in the overhanging branches of the forest of my dream, where tree and bush come creeping round and toward me sure and slow, the horror of the forest creeping round me as I go. In my dull, drab room, in a drab, noisy street, the bloom on the bramble and wild rose is sweet. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Mood and Its Images by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. A Mood and Its Images. Beat out your gold, ring hammer on the anvil. Oh, the glow of dinted copper, beaten blow by blow, shaped, singing dully in a minor key, copper and gold and dross how mixed in me! Copper from gold, beating my gold I passed, shaping it, working it, melted and cast. Old women, young, dull-eyed of sordid flesh, caught, coiled, and crushed in life's unequal mesh, I passed, beating my gold into an offering unto her whom last I would have kissed. Would she have understood my wistful mood, had I told it was not she I would have kissed in her, but me, and for my friend's sake only she? Alas, my gold was mercury, my offering but the fragment of a thought my soul had caught in contact with her dark eye's spiritual flame and sobbing music of her name. Aina. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Both Sides the Mirror by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Both Sides the Mirror. I spoke to myself in the mirror and said, "It is you." And nothing the mirror answered. Both our breaths passed away. It is you, strange, you, in the mirror. And I am who? Reflection of you and you of me? Ah, who can say? I spoke to myself in the mirror, and he spoke too. But a wall of silence lay dead between him and me. And neither could hear what the other said, and neither knew whether he was reflection, or I, or both, or what were we. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Pan the Outcast by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Pan the Outcast. I have brooded o'er pools in the forest, mid the cool, calm frondage and fair. I have heard the song of a chorus that has stripped my heartstrings bare. I have buried my face in the bracken and snuffed the strong smell of the earth. I have felt the cords one by one slacken that bound my brows a girth. Like silence, then peace has descended and quenched the fierce hate of my soul. And the night came, and with I blended, to a bush's black heart I stole. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Swan Song by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. A Swan Song. Among the lily leaves the swan, the pale cold lily leaves the swan, with mirrored neck, a silver streak, tipped with a tarnished copper beak, toward the dark arch floats slowly on. The water is deep and black beneath the arches. The fishes quiver in the pool, under the lily's shadow cool. And ripples, gilded by the ween, painted too with a gloom of green, mingled with lilac blue and mauve, dropped from an overhanging grove. White rose of flame, the swan beneath the arches, and earth, my heart is weary this hot noon of bearing life, your strange and secret gift. Lying upon this bank, I hear the rune of springtime music, with my soul adrift upon its stagnant waters, wondering why, thus rudderless, I float askirt a shore, a drear savannah, death. With ardent eye, inflamed with dreams of death and ancient lore, the wild swan watched and waited for the end. 200 years of life its white wings bore. And I in weary truth my song would blend. O heart of sombre lilies, why not now? A broken music with a swan's full tone. For are you not alone? The sorrow of the woods is on your brow. Hark! What wild melody? What bird sings deep in the dim silent wood? Sad sob and start of pain deep rooted. Good it is to sleep. The sorrow of the woods is in your heart. The roses burst to flower and hide the spike. Oh, and the bloom of lilac blue and mauve. And life is laughter when death stands to strike and rend the web of wisdom which life wove. The wind will blow and all the lilac bloom will strow the earth, wan blue and mauve. The swan is singing, hark, its only song of doom, of life and death, eternal antiphon. The gorse is golden, its roots are deep in the subtle earth, mid slopes of quicken that rustle down to the stones, all lichen covered and green from my lake of sleep. The saps of life are strong and creep with the joy that is in the eagle's sweep, in eager ferment through bush and tree, while my wings and hot heart pine and sicken with death of the life that was good to me. Year after year my life has unrolled of the mist-mersed endless scroll of time. 2 centuries long, the annual chime of daffodil gold with the red-brown gold of corn I have seen, and the heather wold turn russet in autumn and bare in the cold of winter to sleep till the call of spring. Age-worn heart who hast loved in thy prime, this is thy song of death I sing. This, the first melody from my throat, and last brings a joy that kills regret. My memory dims, the past I forget, as the song thrills through me, note after note. Soon will you see my body afloat, inert and white, a lifeless mote, and the naiads flock where the neck is flung, to claim my soul, at my beak all wet, now that my only song is sung. The sorrow of the earth is in my soul. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Stellar by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Stellar. Beyond the moon, the pale stars pine and swoon in space. The eternal wand of night lures on, through hurtling dark, creating light, the spark of life. The giddy race swoops blindly on. Eternity, infinity, falling, ever falling down deep, dark, infinity, eternity, whirling in appalling circles, now a world evolving, now a worm, and helming all a spirit immanent, vast, overwhelming guides the fall, unguiding, conscious only, rides and riots, revels, dwells, and is. Beyond the moon my soul has pined, and swam in grief of what I am, and of the ruin of wind on leaf, and of the interstellar space. And love of night is more than day. Cool of the evening, calm above, how soon, O moon, will love enfold and mirror purple in its pool, my soul star cold, attuned with thine? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. To the Winds by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. To the Winds. The red sands are calling for us in the sea, and the evening is calling, can she hear? New rhythms are aching in my heart. Is she near? Oh, the red sands are waiting, and is she? The red sands are waiting by the sun-red sea, and none is there to watch and none to care. The sad wind is murmuring of its want. Oh, where is she? My unknown darling, where is she? Perhaps I may hold her on the wet seashore, but the evening be gone from the red round moon. Oh, can it be that night will have come too soon, and the sea and the wind have ebbed forevermore? End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Mask of Gold by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. The Mask of Gold. 1. A Country Lane. Red poppies wanton in the golden corn that aureoles the green dividing line. Intent, a linnet pecks the tender grain, unmindful of the lark, or, all forlorn, the cuckoo's mournful voice, wind-tossed and worn. Purple and gold with cloud and sun complain the white-flecked waves, chanting an old refrain. Afar is heard the winding of a horn. Oh, weave me a mask of gold to hide my sad, wild face. White maidens coming from the sea, along the lane with merry eyes and glad. Thou, with a coronal of violets, weave for me the long drawn gold that floats so full and free about thee, that I may no more seem mad. 2. At a Concert. The violins are sobbing out the pride of summer, dearest. Hear you not the wind that blows so fretfully among the thinned, sere leaves, across the fields all bare and wide? The violins are wailing, and a flute pipes out a cheerful note, as if to hail the summer back. Alas, of what avail when sorrow in our heart has taken root? Loosen your long gold hair, and let it flow about me, sweet, for I would fain forget. My head upon your breast, eyes dim and wet, what you and I may know and do not know. 3. His Plea. Love, if I sing the wonder of your grace, and vaunt the perfume of your amber hair, the fragrance that your lips and body bear, and in your eyes the glint of chrysoprase, you will not chide me, who have suffered sore the evil of the time and evil place, that I will look the vampire in the face, and hear the cry of agony no more. But rather will you take me, half a dream, upon your bosom, kiss me on the lips, and as from silken fillets your hair slips, bathe my hot temples in the amber stream. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Distance by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Distance. You stood upon the threshold of your house, and the wind touched your hair and blew it so, it caught my heart within a net. The blow sent my blood whirling in a wild carouse. You said, "Good night," and left me in the dark, and the cold wind that stripped the polled trees bare. Careless you went, not noticing my new care, but through the open window I could mark, full in the lamplight, laughing and elate, your golden head against the wall's dark green. I stood outside, amid the evergreen, and felt like Lazarus at Dives' gate. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Sketch by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Sketch. Gold on her head and in her heart's heart gold. She seems to breathe a rhododendron glow of blossoming color. Fra Angelico would love to picture angels aureoled. An early summer in her smiling glance, the virginal sap and sweetness of her June, and calm serenity of a crescent moon, weaving a glamour where the young leaves dance. She has too something of unclouded skies of day and night about her, blue and dark in turn and deep. You see it if you mark the limpid, laughing purity of her eyes. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Simplicity by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Simplicity. I am a follower of Jesus Christ, to whom a lily of the field sufficed more than the glory and the gold of one who ruled beneath the name of Solomon. I have the heart to be a little child, and play among the grasses growing wild, gathering bright little flowers. Men are too subtle, and they waste their powers. For life is simple to the violets, daisies and buttercups that spring begets, with warmth of sun and rain on big broad earth. There is a deep content, more deep than mirth, or cavil of words, or tears, or questionings, in the slow birth and living of green things. I have a mind to be more simple than the twisted, racked, illusioned mind of man. Christ walked the earth, in his heart a rose, and his eyes calm stars that watch the throes of men embroiled in cunning, and he wept. He gathered to him all whom life had swept nearer to earth, women who sold their soiled poor bodies, publicans, and men who toiled by night upon the lake of Galilee, fishing and awed. He would have taken me, I think, for I have lain with buried head, sideways among long grasses, and have said, these buttercups that sway amid the breeze, and form my sole horizon, even these small violets and bright daisies are more wise than upright men who cheat themselves with lies of good and evil. Christ's feet were weary of the earth. He walked. Mary, with ointment Judas would have hawked, bathed them and dried them on her falling hair. O Mary Magdalene, the deed was fair. So has my heart in its great weariness found balm and shelter in a golden tress. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. After the Dance by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. After the Dance. I gave you roses, roses that will die, even as we, and as we went along the muddy streets, shook by a brutal throng, their petals dropped, and in the dirt did lie. I gave you roses, and I gave with them, my love. You took it, though you knew it not, and set it in your heart, a garden plot, where it has grown to a flower diadem. Oh, may our roses in the jostling crowd, unlike those others, go through life untouched, and with their perfume and their bloom unsmutched, pass to oblivion, head and heart unbowed. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Birthday by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. A Birthday. The petals of our roses, one by one, are falling faded, white and red to earth, are lying wan and shriveled on the dun, rich soil or flutter in the mad wind's mirth. Little avails how we may tend the bloom, they fall and fall, we watch with mild despair, and all we know is that our present doom is slow decay of what we hold most fair. But, dearest, in the garden of our dead, upon the trellis of the rose-clad bower, surely to join two roses white and red, has blossomed an entwining passion flower. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Once in Autumn by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Once in Autumn. Do you recall one calm, sad autumn's eve, bitterness, when we walked along the street, and all the while were rustling at our feet the shriveled spoils of summer and dead leaves? I said, our hopes, look, not a wind relieves our memory of them. You crept closer, sweet. I looked into your eyes. Tears sprang to greet me, stealing all their luster like dim thieves. Some wind has blown new life into our veins since then. Perhaps our bitterness was killed by its own strength, and driving winds and rains have swept and washed away dead hopes that chilled and galled our hearts, leaving life free to build the one dear hope that with us still remains. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Unto Us a Child is Born by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Eva Davis and Nemo. Unto us a child is born. Autumn in stained and tarnished red and gold breathes on our burnished hearts her misty breath, and harsh the foul sound crying on the lake. So harsh within us echoes jangled life.
Dear, let me rest my head upon your shoulder.
The birds are fearful in the twilight hour. They circle and flutter on the surcharged air, then drop like plummets towards the water's lap, as if to explore the branches mirrored there, and frightened, turn away again and scream, as if life's enigma peered out at them. But we are only filled with the world's pain, and hushed and deadened by the city's roar. Will they not cease? They tear my timid heart.
Dear, it is sweet to whisper in your ear and feel your arm about me. See, a fish leaps from the water and then falls again. Perhaps he leapt into the warm air to feel the coldness fold on him. Perhaps, who knows? The earth and air, with trees and birds and stars, are realms of wonder to the leaping fish, and they have stories told from age to age, how some old hero gave a mighty bound and swam a glittering highway to the skies. You think me foolish?
No, dear, nothing is foolish, we two may say, and yet all is foolish. We may not scream as the birds scream, may not laugh as the winds laugh, may not dance as the leaves, but hawk decorously like that treed peacock, the hideous mockery of a painted world. Is it not foolish on the evening calm? And stifle our desires and stifle our hearts? Oh, we are trodden like a narrow road on which the ghost of ages pass rough-shod. We bear our dead upon our bleeding breast, and bone and tissue groan beneath their weight. The past with resolute feet keeps us apart.
The past is robbing me of little children.
Our bones and flesh are kneaded of its paste. It mocks us with desire it seeks to baffle.
A perfumed name is blooming in my heart. Ianthe, violet blossom.
My heart is timid.
Ianthe, I would like a baby girl.
I shudder when I face the teeming world. Foul-breathing dragons and foul creeping things. The legacy our fathers thrust on us. The stars weep when a human child is born, free of the taint to suck the poisoned air.
Ianthe.
Listen to the crying birds above the lake. Hark, how the wind caresses the sere and cadent beech leaves. If you walk upon them, they will crackle. See, the shadow of tree reflected merge with tree and shore into one darkness pinked with little lights. One night, I saw the fairy portals there. I fled in fear.
Ianthe.
You would lure us to our doom, to bend our backs and break them that we may overarch our body's fruit. Ah, it is the past that speaks in you again. Your call sets tingling all my blood and nerves, tense cords that link us with primeval men. And we must leave the lake and crying birds, forget the stars and kinship with the winds, the tree wide rooted deep into the earth, and only look on these as alien things. And we must plunge into the city's roar that comes to us now in an infernal hum, and heed the advent, and bear the ancient dead patiently, for one past implies the other. See, I am yours to bend and break.
Ianthe.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Wisdom in the 20th Century by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Wisdom in the 20th Century. Dear love, forgive me if I laggard seem. I know you were all wise, all fair, all good and loving. But I would not what I would, for fear of breaking out that in our dream cast on our souls its own prismatic gleam. I feared to spill our hoarded sweets, and stood in awe before your primal womanhood, though eager to rush down the hurrying stream. How rests the balance twixt us twain, who knows? But we must wait on the world's pulse until it surges in our favor, when the rose and lilies of your bosom will be mine, past question. Meanwhile, shall we not each fill our chaliced hearts with perfume and new wine? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Vow by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Vow. Lay on one side the flesh's impure stole, and scale the glacial turrets of the soul. Evil is earth, and earth is evil, yet night sleeps before its woeful parapet. Evil is earth, and earth is evil, yet, like a high lamp of burning beryl set. Come, we will take the stars of flaming hope, and plot with them a joyful horoscope. At the pure will's high imaguried behest, scatter new stars on heaven's palimpsest. With horn and hue, with horn and hue and cry, chase the symbolic beast throughout the sky, and laugh like Titans in the yawning aisles of swooning space at their Olympian wiles. Roses and rue and sword and cross and priest, the book's star-lettered and heraldic beast. They fly and change and promise, but they fly, and we will sweep them from the gaping sky. A host of stars is dancing in my brain, and I am drunken with their sweet refrain. A host of stars is dancing in my brain, and we will plan the heavens as we are fain. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. In the Net of the Stars, Foreword, by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. In the net of the stars, Foreword. I drink of that cold flagon of the moon, wherein my son's sweet heart is crushed to wine for me to sup. And as I drink it up, pale blossoms of silver rhyme, with a green damask leaf and rhythmic bine of verse, through my brain creep and twine and intertwine. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. He calls on her to forsake the earth, by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. He calls on her to forsake the earth. Tonight we soar beyond the murky earth. Hi-oh, the lilies in the garden close. Tonight we tread a measure full of mirth. Over the stars we dance away from earth, and yet beside them blooms a passionate rose. Come with me, love, and through the Milky Way, from cloud and dust into the golden day. Come with me, love, and we will hark away into the shining knotted net of the sky, and the wide space will lose our lonely cry. You linger. Think! A wondering world will gaze, stark, at the flashing sky, and ask in amaze, whose feet, in passing over heaven tonight, whose skirts are blotting out the star-helmed light? You linger. Think of us alone tonight. What linked perfumes hold your heart in bond? The delicate lilies round your ankles press. Oh, I would carry you from earth beyond, into the strengthening wine of space, no less, alone, uncrowded, silent, and unconned. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. He tells how a vision of her saved him from death, by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. He tells how a vision of her saved him from death. Like the pure flame of my desire, burning candescent in life's blue deep, rose your white body before me, O my flower, flame-petalled of sleep. O primeval, O earth-heart of fire, like a tall lily swaying beside the waters, silent and black of night and speechless time. Sway, sway, O thurible, flinging your perfume to the winds that ever are singing their chant through the cathedral of earth, in the organ pipes of the trees. Silent and black were the waters. They drew me sick and unhungered on to their verge, and the sky was all gloomy with birds that fluttered to lure me into the infinite surge. O my lily of flame and sweet incense, green-robed, gold-hearted, and white, your fragrance stayed my dull feet of their vagrance into the ocean of death-bound night. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. He Sings a Song in the Garden of Night, by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. He sings a song in the garden of night. O love, who hold my heart at night, let us have cheer while yet is light along the avenues of space, and fragrance in the rose remains. O love, your little bosoms are more to me than the death of a star, and the wet grass beneath your feet I will gather to take with me to sleep. O love, I think within your eyes is the hush that follows the night's outcries on silent lakes where brood the stars between the dreaming nenuphars. And dim eternities lie pressed between my breast and your white breast, when underneath your armpits past my arms enfold and hold you fast. In the white lilies of your limbs is woven the frenzy of the winds that blow upon earth's mountain wings, the winds that quarrel with the trees and break the surface of the seas, the winds that leave tonight in peace. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. He Thinks of Her Lineage by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. He thinks of her lineage. Over the stars came my love to me, dancing, dancing through eternity. She hath walked on planets where strange flowers grow, and her soul hath perfumes I do not know. Amid strange peoples she hath stayed and heard a music that haunts her of man and bird. She hath seen strange colors and drunk the wines of a myriad vineyards and the strangest vines. In the fields of the moon she hath strayed among moon roses, a white moon maid. And now on the earth she hath come to me, fragrant with spice of eternity. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. He Thinks of the Stars and the Leaves by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. He thinks of the stars and the leaves. A little murmur in the leaves. A cold, calm night of many stars. Thinned by the wind of winter's wand that whistles like a winnowing flail, faintly, afar, and turns the warm earth pale. The fretted twigs, the twinkling leaves, whisper runes of the deeps beyond. Night long they have watched each star in silence in the murmuring wind. Night long through spring and summer time, and autumn's yellow and crimson prime. And now they fall and fade away into the earth, night and day. What is the secret? Time and change creep over the earth, and along the alleys huddles death. Under each leaf, willy-nilly the withered skirl, and life is brief. Time and change creep over the earth, and red rot sucks us back to clay. But the stars shine ever and a day, little knots in the net of light that holds the infinite dragon, night. A little murmur in the leaves, a cold, calm night of many stars. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. His Heart is in the Earth by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. His heart is in the earth. Bramble and fern round my heart burn their embraces. Over the thorn the green leaf is born that effaces. Small white flowers walk along the red stalk all unheeding. Beneath, who will say is hidden away a heart bleeding. Wounds more fierce the bramble will pierce closely creeping, when tamed winds croon of love to the moon, and she weeping. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. And His Spirit with the Stars by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. And His Spirit with the Stars. Let us look on the leaf that grows on the tree, and there be no grief between you and me. Let us look on the flower that springs from the grass, and hour after hour may come and may pass. For my spirit is flown beyond a bird's flight, and I am my own, alone, when the night is drawn from the deep by the silver net, wherein the stars keep him quivering yet. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. He Tells of the Eternal Wistfulness by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. He tells of the eternal wistfulness. There is a rose on your breast and a perfume in your hair. Warm body, sweet breath, and these, I know you are there. I know. As the wind knows the trees, as the fish know the swathing water and the weed and the reed, as the rose and the stars that run their course round him know the sun, I know you, earth daughter. And you know my kiss and caress as the shore knows the seas. No more, but no less. Like velvet faintly luminous I see in the gloom your eyes, your bosom against me, close, I can feel fall softly and rise. But you can be to me no more than a mirrored rose, a little murmur in the leaves, a cold, calm night of many stars. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. He Advises Her by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. He Advises Her. Dear, I have dreams when the night is flung and stars fall about me in white streams upon a sable pall. You will not win to the high room open to heaven, breathless carrier of the world's base din. Say, were it not more meet to sandal you with poppies for shoon, and of the sacred moon a ghostly wafer eat? Think how ardent and discreet would your bearing be, your bosom burning white in monstrancy, and wise your feet. Dear, when I dream I would have you thus part of my dream, as though from heaven you came. Surely before me gleams a firmament of stars. Surely about my head is jeweled fire of stars. Oh, come to me, white vestal of the moon, out of the night. I hear your grave footfall upon the stars. Come, the way is free, and on my threshold pause a while, that I may see night's wonder in your smile. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. And Gives Her a Counsel of Perfection by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. And Gives Her a Counsel of Perfection. I think a rose that were articulate might open its heart to every babbling wind, with no one there to whisper how it sinned, and none to warn and none to argue. Wait, I think a lily at the golden gate of innocence might have its candor dimmed, if any eyes but mine approached and limned it on the shining tablets of their fate. Disdain the evil spell of speech, and cast the violet veil of silence on your ways. O my beloved, broider it with flowers, wrought in the wonder of your lonely hours, that men may pass and marvel at your grace, then look on me in envy, having passed. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. He Meets Her in a Wood at Night by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. He meets her in a wood at night. This is a rose of burning wine. This is a star. This is a rose that grew on a star. This is a star in a battle line of whirling worlds, chanting a hymn of flight in the fight with night. This is a rose of burning wine, our love. Voices, voices that come through the wood, voices that come through the wood at night, voices that come through the wood at night in the silence that is ushered into a frame of little noises. Wind on leaf and wind that weeps, wind that woos and wind that creeps, beneath the bushes and whispers where Pan dreams and sleeps. And you came, and there were no more noises. But they echo in the aisles and gusty passages of my pillared soul, and my doom is to be slave of the reverberate tomb. O rose of burning wine, our love erect on a star that is our winged chariot in the fight with night. O lips of burning wine, O eyes that lighten mine, around our heads is a starry wreath, and the white moon has flung an aureole from pole to pole, but black night fumes beneath, and all the stars will sicken with its breath. Let us creep under the bush to the bed Pan has made. I am afraid. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. He likens her to a rose tree, himself to the wind, by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. He likens her to a rose tree, himself to the wind. Our feet are treading on earth's parapet over the heavens. Among the stars we stepped. Night has been drawn up trembling from his lair, and the four winds play in our ruffled hair. Along the black bare branch sleeps almond bloom, silvery in the slow silver of the moon. You are mysterious, and you speak no word, and who you may be I have never heard. But though this secret I can never know, so that you love me, I am content 'tis so. So that I love you, I, the wind in you, the slim young rose tree against which I blew, and wrapped the earth with perfume. From the lake the bright swift fish leapt up for your sweet sake, and the slow buds were quickened in their pale green chalices. I woke the nightingale. Dear, lift your breast like two white roses to the stars. The moon will have no shame of you. In the calm splendor and the pain of night, the wind will babble songs of its delight. Our feet are treading on earth's parapet. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Dawn, Alba by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Alba. Awake, awake! I have gathered you a bunch of early lilac, still wet with dew, its little mouth half open. Come down and take it, O my lilac among women. The morning foams like wine, come down and drink it. O my rosebud, my lily, my fair garden, wherein my eyes may walk, and, wandering, wonder. Come down and take the lilac I have gathered, still wet with dew, though what are both to you? This morning I wakened when the dawn flower opened its wide, pale petals, and the lark was rising. I hied me to the forest that I might make fragrant the song that was to call you from your dreams. And lo, I came upon the tree of lilac that had blossomed like a dream on night's dark bosom. I have gathered you a corbel of its blossom, still wet with dew, its little mouths half open. Come down and take it, O my lilac among women. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Song for Spring by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. A Song for Spring. Out of the verdure of my heart has broken the bloom. The spring has come from her house of gloom, in her robes of green with the pure fled hem of all the flowers, and on her hair of all the flowers a diadem. She has wrought with ardor and dainty craft, blossom of apple, blossom of pear. With warp of the moon and weft of the sun, she has spun the flowers and dipped them every one in vats of radiant, delicate dye. She has spun in the loom of earth and sky, with a spindle of rain to the song of the wind. I have seen her with her sheaf pass by, and scatter my garden with narcissi. I have seen her fling her daffodils in a burning cirque about the hills. And as I lay and watched she stooped and blew with her breath the buds apart that hid in the verdure of my heart. I think of all the covered roots, I think of the boughs and the leaves on them. I think of the day when first she came with a song along the alley of laurels, a girl with hair of amber flame, who woke the blossom in my heart. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Song of Change by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. A Song of Change. We walk in the world and see with strange eyes, with a fire at our hearts and a dream of days. Alone in the world we walk on the ways. Oh, roses and rags, man's heart is of ice. We walk in the world and are stifled with lies. Yet will the god return to his gaze. He will hear the music and beat of the sea and the way of the wind in a tree. He will know the silence of forest, their song and the bird song and the screams of the seagulls that circle and dart and throng the jagged cliff. He will follow the streams without heeding, with the heart of a boy, and he will watch the darting fish. He will lie on his back among daisies and watch the sky, caress buttercups and steal a subtle joy. Rain, hail, and snow, and the storm's thunder and fire he will love, and they will minister to his desire. The sun will be his comrade, and the moon will be the mystical white goddess of his love. The sea, and of the stars his heart will never tire. We walk in the world and see with strange eyes. From our eyelids has fallen the fringe of lies, and broken cries we have to our need, and sorrows we have, strange sorrows and tears for drooping flowers in the garden of life, for the warping of growth and sapling years, and the aimless sweeping knife, and the choking poisonous weed. I have a rose in my garden, milk white with a heart of red. The wind whispers a song in its petals of hope that is not yet dead. And its perfume comes to me singing the song of a wind-blown day, when a sickle will have been sharpened and a scythe will have had its way. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Unpraised by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Unpraised. Praise. I sing of the trees and the winds and the sea's ways, and the rose that brushed your face, yet can I find for you no praise. Are you not in my heart, nectar and wine of flowers, wherein may dart and dive my word bees in their hours, and bring to their brain and hive honey sweet smelling of you? Praise I have none, and my days go by in dreams and are done. I stoop and pick from the path of the wind's wide math the crimson leaf of a rose that glows and has touched your robes. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Afternoon by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Afternoon. Quiet, save for a footfall, wooed by bird and child call. Young buds and blossoms are bursting, green, white, and red mouth thirsting. Under the elm tree, lying on the thin grass, I wonder. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. He is led by the cuckoo to jest with her by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. He is led by the cuckoo to jest with her. On the hard husk of the world's old tree has sprung the green shoot of your love for me. Cuckoo, cuckoo, sweet mockery. The hawthorn hedge and the lilac's bloom have told each other in hushed perfume. Cuckoo, cuckoo, and a marble tomb. The golden tulip has wagged an old head in a roguish way to an empty bed. Cuckoo, cuckoo, I would I were dead. The apple blossom we saw last night, moonlit and as though with stars alight. Cuckoo, cuckoo, has fallen in fright. Cuckoo, cuckoo, and if it were true what the flowers are saying of me and you. Cuckoo, cuckoo, is it rose or rue? End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Exultation by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Exultation. And if I dream that we are ever young, with feet still dancing to the fifes of spring, along the ways of sapling woods, among the violets and anemones that ring their children voices round the deacon elms. And if I dream that nothing overwhelms our hive of dreams, there is no end, and the young leaves dance ever in the sun upon the wings of the wind, and ever will your eyes and lips be young, and ever will your body be a slim, new statue kindled. Am I not like a man in this? And like the clear-eyed animals who see the world about them limned eternally, outside of time, undimmed by death, the mist, a poet's breath, who kiss the spirit, and behold, death is? I have a childish joy of the brown, soft mold beneath the silver birches in the wood of our dreams, and of their twinkling hood of leafy lace. Joy of the little stars of coy white thoughts that peep along the thorny bramble holts. Joy of the birds, unrooted flowers of space, shaking to heaven a silver chime of bells. Joy of the wide, wild waste of fern. Joy of the glimpse of hart and hern in silent dells. I have a childish joy of your living face. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Evening by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Evening. One rose petal falls to the moss with the weight of dew, dusky red on darkening green. A red rose trembles in the twilight, glimmering silence in sleeping things. In the dun earth beneath the mosses, a rose tree tightens its lace of roots, and the earth quivers. What is passing? What is present? Dusky red on darkening green. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Garden Song by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. A Garden Song. I will go into the garden and hear the song of songs, where the tall straight lavender is wavering in the breeze, and swaying beneath the weight of the singing brindled bees. I will go into the garden and hear the song of songs. I will think of my love who is eaten of amber honey, and of lavender and heather now's the savor of her mouth. The curtain gauze of the sea between two cliffs in the south is stretched, and the song of the sea and the bee is my song of songs. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Forest of Vision by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. The Forest of Vision. Through the hushed forests in your golden hair, my eyes have wandered dimly in a dream more subtle simple than the play we live. What have my eyes to do with here and there? I cannot tell why the leaves do not stir. I tread a path still odorous with the trail of kings who carried to a little child a load of spice and frankincense and myrrh. And they have gone through the world waste, those kings, and it is still the same. I have your hair that veils in gold the forest of all dreams, where I remember and forget some things. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Prophecy by F.S. Flint. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Prophecy. I will prophesy before the Lord my God, whom I alone can know, that there shall be abroad a new fervor among the nations, and great golden lilies shall grow upon the waters, and men shall admire. I will prophesy before the Lord my God, that there shall be a greater concourse of peoples, and they shall move along the banks of the rivers and the shores of the seas. And they shall make a new book of golden beautiful words, wherein shall be set the spirit of all the flowers and grasses, and the many summited trees. And the spirit that is among them and moves them, man and woman, grave figures and silent in their times along the beaches of time. And what they shall both see when a man looks into the eyes of a woman, I cannot tell. Yet unto thee, O my beloved, O my slender tree of blossom and fruit of tender apples, I give my words. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. End of In the Net of the Stars by F.S. Flint.